Hello and welcome back to Everybody Loves Raiken, our 5th edition live play that meets every Tuesday night. Last week, the party returned from their respective errands, the majority of the party coming back from the battlefield after witnessing via Laramenda's new spell, the historical lens, the final moments, as it were, of Thandros Draknir, Vendar's older brother, who was taken prisoner by the invading Brumdoran army on that fateful night. What is it now? 2 months ago? A month and a half? Something like that. And they learned that the Brumdorans who had taken him prisoner had been approached by Tatsuya Lumos in his campaign to raise an army to fight the children of Tiamat and ultimately their mother, forever removing her from the pantheon. In the meantime, Cyrus had continued his efforts to locate the mage from the Mages Guild, Erza, as she had disappeared the previous day after seeming quite scattered. He went and he paid for a commune spell to be cast by the Temple of Arathis after determining that he could not afford the services of the Temple of Pelor, and had 3 of his questions answered, giving them an explicit series of steps to follow based on answers given, and realized after the fact that he really wanted to know if she was still in the city or not, and so has sought out Laramundus to request that he perform a commune on his behalf. As the party was separating once again after finally being reunited, the party that was headed back toward the lodge, Boarhunter Lodge, was stopped in their path by an imposing and broad human who introduced himself as Alarn and was referred to by clerics of the Raven Queen as the Psychopomp. Within the confines of this Temple of the Raven Queen in Everwatch, he began to investigate each of these party members, telling them that some of them had ghosts attached to them, and explaining the various reasons that this might happen, and offering to perform a ritual to separate them. The other portion of the group, Raiken, Vendar, and Jebble, had gone to Alden Cartwright, the halfling alchemist, who had provided Vendar with the information on the fate of his former master, the fact that he still lived, which allowed him to find this man, hoping to acquire the rare ingredients needed for the juice that his brother used to be given, which helped balance him out. The alchemist was in the middle of an investigation by the guards, and even after being threatened by and intimidated by Vendar, only explained that he would refuse to work with or give any further aid to Vendar, since doing so once has already landed him with this warning, and the Assassin's Guild will not be kind if they have to warn him again. But I said last time that I would pick up with Lia, as she was dealing with Alarn, so before we get back to the party dealing with alchemy, we will conclude the scene as Lia, you are having this ritual performed for you as Alarn, this tall, broad human, muscular-clad, in dark plate armor, with a flowing blue cape coming from the pauldrons, and a menacing-looking maul, a massive hammer, strapped over his back with a long, narrow spike coming out of the top middle. Moves around you, dropping aromatic herbs and crumbles of plant on the ground around you and whispering in Celestial. You can see that the clerics in the room who had moved to the edges of the room, their backs to the wall, their heads bowed to make themselves as unobtrusive as possible, have begun to whisper prayers of their own, and the room is now a susurrus, a murmur of celestial words about you. And he pauses in his placing of these herbs and his murmuring of these prayers every now and then to ask you questions that will lead, as he says, to the emotions which will separate these spirits from you as they need guidance to the realm of the Raven Queen, and they are currently attached to you via strong emotion. And so I believe in that scene that he was asking you about moments or people in your life who have strong emotional ties to you, who you might know have passed on. He had told you that he could see these spirits, and the ones that were not beyond recognition appeared to be the spirits of young people, children.
Yeah, I mean, didn't I answer some of that last time? I can't remember.
Well, exactly. So we're just going to run through a little bit of it again.
Okay.
The details are important, and I don't expect anyone to remember them. So, again, he is letting you know that these spirits, the ones that he can discern, the ones that still have any form of humanoid shape to them, appear to be children, and he is asking you who you might know in your age group that you had strong emotional connection, if there were events that would have brought you close, that they might latch onto you.
I, I, I was raised at an orphanage. Um, and bad things happened there.
Drops a few more herbs into place, nudging them into wherever he wants to be with the toe, Sabaton. And you can feel him as he is now moving behind you. You can feel his eyes on you. It pauses. Says, bad things. Like,
None of the kids were ever nice to me there. Neither were the adults. I was pretty much on my own most of my life until a very bad man contacted me through a mirror. He told me he was my friend and granted me powers. Desperate as I were, I agreed and formed a bond. Over the years, he taught me to harness those powers, but after certain bullying getting too far, I unleashed them. Um, it caused me to, for for the last year, to be punished by these very bad men, tortured.
not the same people granted you power.
No, these these people were human. The one that granted me power came from elsewhere.
seems to continue moving. Continue to hear the little small crinkle, crumble of these bits of herb and flower petal hitting the floor. And you hear a breath come from behind you. Grunts as working on it. This power has gifted you entity that you have not.
Not in person now.
But you called them something.
Yes, they were my patron for a while. But I removed that bond with help from a new friend.
Spirits cuts you off. Spirits say that there is still a strong emotional connection. That you fear to speak the name of this entity.
I do. Last time I did, I heard him in the darkness. I'm afraid he can spy on me. He's not happy about me disconnecting the bonds. Breaking our oath. I found out the truth. I found out how bad he is. And that he caused me to do those bad things in the orphanage.
Did he?
After I've been punished for a year by these bad men with hands of blue, it got too much for me. And I used his powers for evil. I burned down the orphanage with everything in it, and everyone in it.
Sounds like that was a choice you made. It's those powers.
I really can't remember. I only know it happened by flashbacks. The one moment I was being heavily tortured, the next I was outside the orphanage in flames. Every detail is lost.
But if you had been the one who chose, even if you cannot remember now, what you say your feeling is at this time?
Right now, I'm sad. Regret. I wish it never came to that. None of the kids were nice to me, but they never deserved to die.
And so, even though, say that you were mistreated by them, you wish that you had not caused their death.
Yes. I have nightmares of that day often. I aim to try to do good in these days. And try to protect life and people. Not to have situations like that repeat.
That's why you attach yourself to. He's by this point moved in front of you and is now looking at you with his body turned sideways and raises the hand that is facing away from you and kind of waves it vaguely in the direction of the door. That the work they are doing is more palatable than these choices of your past.
Yes. I want to help people. if anything, to try to redeem myself for what I did. But I don't think that will ever really happen. Nothing can excuse what I caused that day.
He turns so that his body face towards you, as he seems to have finished placing herbs. I cannot speak to, for I care little of these ideas of worthiness of soul, purity, spirit. But perhaps you will find it helpful or quest for this redemption. That you have done good by releasing the spirits. Have helped go to where they belong.
You succeeded?
We have not yet begun.
Ah,
I meant once we are finished.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
That's alright. Now then, one step still. I can see that some understand what you say. Few accept it.
That's understandable.
We're going to try tooth. I want you to address these people. You know. Address the anger and the resentment that they clearly harbor, that they cling to, that anchors them here. They do not belong. You have explained that you feel this. I want you to try directly addressing them and apologizing, but only if you apology soul, or otherwise it will not reach them.
I'll do my best.
Know any of their names? That can help. But I don't. They are not telling.
Oh boy. That's yeah. I had
This is just
some of those
opening
names.
up your ability to, if you had names from your backstory to drop, good. But if you don't have any on hand, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know where I've put them, and I don't have names for everyone. I had names for like 3 of them.
If Lia would remember names for any particular reason, you can simply say that she uses them.
Yeah. She would.
Okay?
She would remember all of them. She was raised with them.
That's good to know.
Um, so I guess she will just mention the names in order.
You do so?
If any of you are listening, um, I'm sorry for what I did, for what happened. I truly am. There is no excuse for what happened, and you did not deserve this. Bad men, bad things are afoot. And they gave me powers I could not control. I should never. I should never have accepted it.
You see, Alarn has closed his good eye and on you solely with that glimmering black jewel skull. And you feel, see small points of light, not reflected by its surface, but illuminated from within its depths. For a moment, you are reminded uncomfortably of the dreams of stars. Sky you recognize.
He would see her close her eyes and look pale, sweat and shiver a bit. She's breathing quick and heavily.
And he says in a monotone, "Name him."
Why? What if he listens?
The emotions connecting you to this moment pass through this creature's name, the one, and your fear makes it a lock. Till you unlock that door, these spirits remain trapped behind it. And he gasps lightly, and you see him shift his weight back, taking a half step backwards, opening his good eye. And slowly it focuses on you. He says, "I don't know what might happen outside of this. From that name's usage, if anything. But I do know these spirits cannot move on until you face this."
Yeah. His name... The name he used with me, the name I knew him by, was Zephyr.
He speaks it, and you hear his tone change a little as he's louder.
Zephyr.
And you see the pool seem to glow. Pale gray, former black a moment, and he kind of turns his head slightly so it turns away from you. He raises a hand to cover its eye. For a moment before he begins speaking strongly in Celestial, and the herbs scattered around you, you see around your feet, begin to pulse with a silvery gray light, and sort of feel as though you can hear this ethereal chiming as of bells being rung. Softly at first, and growing slowly more intense and insistent as he continues to speak these words in Celestial, his voice growing stronger with each phrase, and you hear his voice echoed through the room in the voices of the clerics who stand against the walls. And you feel as this noise, this chiming of bells, chanting, seems to crescendo around you. You feel a wind, pulling of air down around your feet, around your body, causing the fringes of your skirt to flutter, as though the air is being pulled into a hole below you. And everything ends as the wind blows around your face, moving your hair and filling your ears with this howl, making you want to cover your ears and shut your eyes and cry out from the fear of this loud noise. When everything falls silent, very suddenly still. Silent. And that silence is broken moments later by a phrase of conclusion from Alarn, as he seems to end his prayer, Celestial. And you feel, as he takes a step towards you, you feel his presence, even if you aren't looking. And you hear him.
She's not. When you said to close her eyes or hold her ears, she did that at this, as I said.
And you hear him. You hear the clinking of the armor, scraping of metal, as he kneels down in front of you. And you feel a heavy, rough, large hand reach out and take your left shoulder. Its weight is sudden and surprising.
Yeah, she startles and notches back a little and opens her eyes.
As you lean away, taking a step backward, you feel him. His hand goes to a grip. Not painful, but strong and sudden, as though he was worried you were going to pitch backwards and fall. It is supportive. And as you open your eyes, you see him before you, his black eye once again inert and shadowed, his face. And he looks at you with his good eye, and you see his mustache covering his lip curl slightly. You realize that he is smiling. That was a lot of spirits for one so small. You did well. You have pleased the Raven Queen. Stay. And she thanks you for the ability to guide their spirits.
Is it done? Is all of them free?
Yours are.
She'll drop down on her knees.
He lets go of your shoulder to allow you to fall. Just breathe easy. Rest.
Yeah, she's crying.
Stands and turns toward the rest of the party.
That sounds like my cue.
This is all yours. Clearly inviting Raiken and Yukikaze and Laramendis to approach and help Lia, who is seated on the floor, clearly crying.
Laramendis goes over to her, hand on the shoulder. From Laramendis' point of view, should I get her away from where she is for the next person to have the ritual thing?
As
Like,
you,
I hand on the shoulder, and I'm asking if I should like try and
Yeah.
like
no, I understand.
help her up to like get her away.
You look over to get a sense of what's going on and see if you can read Alarn's purpose, and you see that he has already begun to move around Cyrus where he stands by the door and drop similar herbs on the ground. A clear indication that you can take whatever time you need over there.
Okay.
Yukikaze?
He is muted.
Tell us, what am I doing again?
You
I'm
were...
playing Jebble.
One more time?
No, go ahead.
Alarn finished speaking with Lia on the other side of this temple to the Raven Queen, and she fell to her knees and began to cry, at which point he moved over to you and said, "She's all yours," and began eyeballing Cyrus.
Okay.
Would Yukikaze go to help Lia, who is clearly very upset?
Yeah, I would. And I'll say it's your turn now, Cyrus.
Yep. Yeah. Hi. Yeah.
And
Can you give me any hints? Because while I am happy to try and help, I don't have a strong guess as to who the spirits might be.
I'm just gonna say one thing first.
Yeah.
As Lermendis touches Lia's shoulder, she will first look up at him with very wet eyes. Then she will toss herself around his neck and hug him tight. Sam, you will notice that she's very wet. She's sweaty and full of tears.
That's fair. Lerman is begins rubbing your back, but is fairly quiet.
Give Yukikaze the opportunity to declare anything he'd like to add as he approaches, and Lia has basically launched herself onto Lar, has her arms wrapped around his neck, holding him tightly.
I will pat her on the head.
Feel this oversized and scaly hand, reminiscent of father's,
Gently.
gently tousle the hair on top of your head and provides a comforting pressure.
Yeah, she would let go of Lermendis and turn around and then toss herself around Yukikaze as well. But as much as I can.
Yeah, very good.
She cannot wrap her hands around him, but you know.
Like, Lara Mendes is kind of holding her, and your body's twisted and hugging me.
I think she let go of him and has climbed you and now.
Gotcha.
Sure,
Oh, yeah, because I'm taller, that's right.
So, you can support her. She's 5'2" now? 5'3"? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, she's significantly smaller than you, and, you can put your arms into her and support her as she is just burying her face in your scaly neck and holding on tightly.
Okay. I will be very consoling.
Excellent. Cyrus. He begins placing these herbs around you, moving slowly and deliberately in this circular path around you, mumbling his celestial prayer once again, and you hear it being picked up once again by the clerics in the room. Who you had noticed that as he finished with Lia and headed over to you, they had been, they had broken into their own, bouts of joy. They seemed very pleased with the success of his ritual, and were making this known to each other through gesture, or remaining otherwise quiet and intrusive. And as he's walking this circuit around you, says, "You cannot think of anyone close to you with whom you share strong emotions."
Not that I know of that's dead.
And
I can
what of your
list a
travels?
few names. I heard an old friend, let me double check the name. I have it written down. I just don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Where'd it go? Notes. An old friend named Gallus, who passed not too long ago. There were some humanoid enemies recently. Drow, mostly, some of which I would have preferred to avoid having needed to kill.
And this Gallus, how did you know this person?
Friend, teammate, comrade in arms. We,
Worked,
yes.
and they have had occasion to rely on you.
One or two at least.
Do you believe they would have blamed you for their death, sought you for any reason, perhaps vengeance? Help them, I mean to say, exact vengeance after death.
Like, vengeance on me or against what got them killed?
Either both. Does it mean anything to you?
It's possible. Wouldn't say it's unlikely.
When had you last seen?
How long have I been with the party, Tristan?
It was shortly after they left this place last time, so month and a half, 2 months, somewhere in there.
Alright, then I'd say probably 4 months? 4 months ago? That sounds about right.
Teammate. What team?
The Sons of the Imminent Dawn.
He seems to suddenly look to the right as he passes by in front of you, looking somewhere over and above you. And these Sons of the Imminent Dawn are mercenaries.
Yes.
And adventured with them and killed.
I fought alongside them. Yes.
And killed.
I mean, out of character, you would know better than I, because I don't have like jobs written down I've done with them, so like
Is killing anything that Cyrus avoids,
I
especially
mean,
prior to the party, since this party has been a little bit more averse to it than like, most mercenaries.
it's not his go-to solution for sure. Like, if you're gonna accomplish something without, uh, getting someone killed, that would be ideal. With the occasional exception if they seem particularly evil.
These mercenaries you were with before, they did jobs. These jobs sometimes brought them into conflict with others. People who were guarding their target, let's say. That's pretty standard, right?
Not uncommon, yes.
And so, stands to reason that perhaps you helped them to end the lives of others in these jobs.
On occasion, as my tool set had not yet expanded, have many more options beyond that. But I tried to avoid it if I could.
This is not about blame. You seem to be of the opinion that I am judging you for having killed someone. Would you say that is accurate?
Perhaps subconsciously, not consciously. I am just attempting to answer thoroughly, as I, want this to work.
People die. People are killed. Sick. Whatever. Life ends, and a soul is claimed by the Shadowfell. That's what matters. You did a job. They did a job. You killed them. They died. He seems to be talking to you, but simultaneously not talking to you. As he says this, sometimes his eye drifting to you, but largely he seems to be looking above or around you. When a job requires that you kill Cyrus, what do you do?
If the job requires it, the job requires it, and I would kill.
Kill. When the job requires you to lay down your life in defense of something, what do you do?
Well, make sure I've accomplished as much as I can directly preceding it, but make sure the job gets finished.
And then you die. That's how it works. We make our choices, and we take lives, or we lose lives. People are born, people die. Souls go to. That is all there is to it. You struggle to survive, and sometimes you succeed. Other time, don't. Go, Raven Queen. He seems to be continuing to speak to an audience that is more than just you, Cyrus. As I feel that these are spirits of people who feel resentment toward the sons of the imminent dawn. And as he says it, you see his eye twitch to one side. Yes. I feel strongly of that. This has less to do with you specifically than with the fame, the group you were with. This should be simple, Cyrus. I don't think it's anyone you know personally. And your only transgression was that you worked with Sons of the Imminent Dawn when you killed them. Does that sound probable to you?
It does.
Then what I need you to do is to put into words your understanding of this path of life and death, and state for them, he says, sweeping over you, that you did a job and that they did a job, and that there isn't any further malice about it.
Alright.
But these words that resonate with your soul, Cyrus, understand them.
Can't be certain, but I can try my best.
He seems to be a little confused. See him twisting his head a little back. Says, what makes you uncertain if you understand?
There's always the possibility that I've missed something, that there could be further insights to gain.
This isn't about spirits and their identity. I'm asking if you understand the path of life and death, and the fact that life calls us to make decisions that often affect others.
Yes, I understand that.
You live this creed.
I believe I do.
You want to live this.
Not always, but
You must speak a creed that you truly believe in. What is your creed?
out of character now, I'm more confused.
So, every time that you've seen this done, that includes out of character, when I did it for Vendar, connecting emotionally to the spirits in order to send them on has been about defining yourself. It has to be... It's not just repeating words that he feeds you. It's about stating your true beliefs. So he's telling you that a way to unstick them is to get them to understand that you were just doing a job. That job is over, and death is the next natural step. And has said, that should be easy. Everyone understands that death is the next natural step. You understand and believe that people are born and then they die and they go to the Shadowfell. And you said no.
Alright, then that's not what I meant to say, because I was confused.
Okay. Because perhaps you don't believe that. But if that's the case, then you won't be able to use it. But you will have to determine what it is you believe. What was the meaning in these people losing their lives?
Oh, that I can't really know because I, like, out of character or in character, because I don't know who they were, what the context was, if there was a real reason or not.
Had a job, save a person, steal a thing, get a place, root out bandits. They had a job. Be the bandits, protect the thing, kidnap the person. And so they died. Because they came against you. Had cross purposes. What do you believe? What does Cyrus... Pardon me.
I am trying to think through my answer here.
He seems not to believe that there is an absolute morality of life and death, and that perhaps one of the people in this situation, maybe the one who died, was wrong about something, a bad person. That seems to me to be what you're struggling with, but I don't know.
I think what I'll go with is this, and if I'm missing the mark, please tell me and I'll try to revise it. In life, especially the life I lead, and presumably the life they led, there are jobs, and, well, we know the risks. We take them, we attempt to complete them, and should we fail, at least I hope that there is some benefit in the afterlife waiting once it's all said and done.
Okay. Let's try that. And he forms the rest of the ritual, chanting. The herbs, they glow. You feel a movement of air despite the temple being entirely closed. No visible open windows here. And afterward, he looks to you after he finishes his prayer. Says, right. I think that I was correct. They seem to have moved on. I think they were just stuck there because of their passion to finish the job. They needed to be reminded that the job was done.
And when he says that they seem to have moved on, Cyrus will let out a bit of held breath.
Yes. They are... He looks around with the Raven Queen. You've done well. Thank you. Alright, all of you. I am not at all sorry to have taken time out of your day for this. It was of the utmost importance. And now life and death can continue, and I will seek out next problem. Correct it. I taught your friend and our ritual that will help to make sure that spirits don't stick to you when the necessity to end lives comes about. But with any luck, yeah, he can teach it to you. And he's going to move past Cyrus and push the doors open. You're going to see the late morning sun come streaming in. The dust kind of blows. You can see the glimmering particles in the air as the air moves into the room and dislodges the settled boats. And you hear the clerics in the room as they take a step away from the wall, speaking in Celestial and in Common, giving thanks, and all of them looking to Alarn and thank you, Psychopomp. Thank you. You've done the work of Raven Queen today. And he, again, while still holding the door open for you, kind of shakes his head and says, "Please don't call. You may return to your lives. I shouldn't need to bother you again."
Thank you.
Thank you for helping me do the Raven Queen work.
It was very interesting, and wish you well in your endeavors.
Thank you, says, looking a little like he doesn't, like he's not sure what to say to that. So you were heading back to Boar Hunter Lodge, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to jump over to these three real quick and see where they're headed, and then we'll back and forth between the two groups or see if they meet up. Okay?
It should be awkward, Tristan, because he doesn't do magic. He's just wishing for his success in more of this.
Sure. He doesn't seem like you said anything wrong.
Wrong?
He
Okay.
doesn't really seem to think he needs or deserves thanks for what he did. I think calling it interesting kind of threw him.
Well, all magic is interesting to Yukikaze. He's just like, that's kind of cool. But I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
In Laramendus's mind, the thank you was specifically about, now I have a new thing that I have learned. Which didn't come across to anyone but him, probably.
Yeah.
But that is how he meant it.
Understood. Alright. Vendar, Raiken, Jebble.
Yes.
You had...
That's us.
Yes. You had just separated from Alden Cartwright after he refused to help, and giving again the names, descriptions of these ingredients that you had gotten from your former master, Tyler, who is dead. You realize that perhaps a place with access to the Feywild might be able to provide at least one of them, and with Jebble, Jebble had pointed out that perhaps in light of your recent deep study of alchemy, the two of you can achieve this, can make this happen, and not need other people. So, I believe that your next stop was the Mages Guild. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Guild of Mages.
Indeed. And so you begin heading up from the lowest tier of the city toward the Brilliant Plaza. As you know, the Mages Guild rests on the slope just below the plaza. You head there, and you see that there is a bit of a line waiting by the door. As you approach, you see the door opens and a person comes out. One of the people in the line shuffles in, and the door closes. There's maybe 3 or 4 people outside the building currently. What do you do?
I guess we'll wait in line.
Okay. You join the queue, and you notice that the door opens and permits the next person approximately 10 minutes after the previous person left. And then...
Jebble, because he said that his animal buddies had found him alchemy ingredients earlier, right?
Yeah.
So I'll ask Jebble if he can ask him to ask the animals around if they can look for either of these things.
Do we have samples, or do we have like pictures, or?
Well, we have the names of what they are, and I can describe them.
We can try.
Right?
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
So as you're in this queue that's moving slowly, maybe 20 minutes from getting inside yourselves, what do you do, Jebble?
I am curious about how, what's his name, Rooter
Rooter?
and Slink,
Link.
how they actually found me. So I'm trying to see, can I start summoning animals to me?
Alright, what do you... So you're going to, like, see if you can reach out to them, or just
Yeah.
to animals in general?
Animals in general.
Okay. Alright, so you focus on this idea that you have questions you want to ask, and you wish to ask the animals around you. And, for a minute or two, nothing really seems to happen, but you continue to focus on this idea that you need the help of these local animals, and you imagine, you picture in your mind, you know, the dog coming up to you, and you kind of hear Rooter's voice in your mind. He says, "Hey, what's up? You need something?" And as you're picturing this and focusing on it and trying to manifest this, you do become aware that you're hearing, "Hello? You okay there?"
I look around for the source of the voice.
And you open your eyes, and look around, and Vendar and Raiken are waiting in the queue, kind of like arms folded, shuffling back and forth a little. Crowd of people around you is just sort of going to and fro, thickening, thinning, guards walking a bit. And you look down and you finally notice a couple of rats on the ground in front of you. They, like, sat up on their hind legs and looking at you. And one of them says, "Hey, you okay?"
I said, it worked.
"What?"
And I go, I'm gonna like bend down, and I put my hands down, palms open, try. How many are there?
There are 2.
2. I'll try to get them to like step into my hands.
Yeah, they as soon as you crouch down and put out your hands, they immediately like start sniffing forward, and then like climb up into your palms and start looking around. Like, okay.
I stand up and I go, okay. I'm trying to find something, and I turn to Vendar. And I'm like, Vendar, describe those plants to me again.
Okay, I'll describe the plants.
I repeat the description of the plants to the rats, and I say, I'm trying to find plants like that somewhere in the city.
the rat in your left hand, does this almost human-like thing where it like kind of scratches under its chin and tilts its head to one side. Goes, I don't know, plants like that. Maybe. I got a couple friends I can check with.
That would be great.
And the other rat says, yeah, I have some ideas too. Sure. Yeah, we can help with that.
Excellent. Thank you.
Just give us a little time. We'll let you know what we find. You're gonna be like here, I guess, right? I guess, just do whatever you did before. Yeah. We'll hear it.
How many... How many of us are there?
Well, there's the 3 of you here. There's the 4 that are
in the party altogether.
There's 7 in the party altogether. Less familiars and such.
Greater rest... No, I cast Goodberry.
Yeah.
7
I think you had
got
one Goodberry left because Cyrus took an extra one and Lia took an extra one. I believe.
Did Cyrus take an extra one?
Yes. In case I had found the person and it was needed for food or healing.
Hmm.
I think you have one left, although, I mean, there's nothing that says that the magical sustenance goes away if you get sick and throw up, so I believe you're still sustained for the rest of the day because it's magic, but you did throw up your,
Yeah, no, it was just like, if I had 2, I would have given them
each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe you have just the one left.
I mean, I can cast it again later.
Yeah.
Split it in half.
I mean, isn't it it's a first level spell, right?
Yeah.
You can just cast it until you're out of first level slots, right?
I can cast it until I'm out of every slot, I believe.
Yeah, so, like, you can cast it later, but I guess there's nothing necessarily stopping you from casting it now if you wanted to.
Well, I don't...
You don't
see
have
how many come back.
Okay.
Because
Oh, fair
if I had 2, it'd be perfect. So, okay, I'll let them down again. I'll thank them.
Yeah.
And I'll turn to Vendar and say, they're going off to check stuff. How long do you think we'll be here?
Vendar.
There what, 2 people in front of us, or still 3?
2.
Probably about 20 more minutes of waiting. And maybe another 10 minutes inside.
Yeah, and I turn to the rest. I say, we might be here another half hour anyway.
Okay. Well, again, you leave here and you still need us. You just call us again.
Will do. Thank you.
Yeah. Good to have a purpose. And they kind of scurry off, and you hear it as these rats like run towards somebody, and they don't like it. About 15 minutes goes by, and you're the next in line. The person ahead of you leaves, comes back out of the Mages Guild. You see each person that leaves either like has they seem happier, or they seem to have something with them that they're pocketing, whether that's like a scroll or a picture or some kind of object. But they all seem to be coming here and leaving with something. And finally, you are able to enter. You head inside the Mages Guild, much like it was the day before when you, when part of the party at least was here. The interior is dimly lit by a couple floating orbs of magic that seem to drift lazily through the room. And you see that around the central desk, which is straight in from the door, There's these blue curtains that section off the rest of the room, concealing other things that go on here. And behind the desk is this elf, who at this point you've all met at least once. This is the Archmage Theron Ethian. And he kind of leans back. You see him kind of crack his neck a little bit. He says, welcome to the Mages Guild, where we make all of your needs reality with magic. What can I do for you gentlemen today?
So we're looking for some ingredients that I believe can be found in the Feywild. So hoping you may have access to them.
Doing some upper level alchemy, are we?
Yeah.
Very
Got
well.
some rare ingredients, so I'll describe the plants and tell them the names.
Okay. You describe the plants, and you kind of see him listening, and every now and then an eyebrow twitches. And then you give him the names. He goes, and, what exactly are you, going to, make with these ingredients?
It's a private matter among my family, but it's to help my brother.
Of course, I respect your loyalty to family and your dedication to your private matters, but I fear I must get at least a sense of what you intend to use this for, what your concoction is intended to do, because I could get in a good deal of trouble with the government here if I'm giving you ingredients that could be put to bad uses, let's say.
I'm doing this to help my brother, who is also the Queen's brother.
Ah, you're Mr. Vendar Draknir.
Yes.
I'm going to address this to your friend. You'll excuse me, Mr. Draknir. And he's going to turn to Jebble and every now and then be looking at Raiken, just in case he's addressing the wrong person, seeing if somebody's going to answer. Very well. One of you needs this plant, or both of these plants, is that correct?
Yes, we need some of both of these.
Yes, that is correct.
He pointedly
Raiken's
ignores
just
Vendar.
Raiken's just gonna step in front of Vendar.
He turns to Raiken, like, smiles, and says, ah, good. Well then, what exactly are you going to make with it?
I don't know. Was Raiken actually told what it literally is?
I feel like Vendar has told you the names of things he wants and says it's for his brother. I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, that he's been a bit cagey about the exact nature of things.
Yeah, I didn't really want to spread it around. But if it's absolutely necessary.
Jebble. Jumbo, if you would give me wisdom, nature, or medicine.
Let's see. Either are, they both get the same. That is a 28.
28. Okay. You have spoken with Vendar. You know that he's been a little bit more open about what he's looking for with you. And you have seen the ingredient list, and from your recent studies in alchemy and your, life, your lifestyle that taught you the ways of this and its uses and needs, you do feel that you recognize that this particular list of ingredients is probably intended to effect behavioral changes in a person, in a humanoid, generally making a person more placable and docile.
Okay. Wait, who's got the list? Is it Vendar has the list and he's showing it to your man, or?
You've been shown the list in the past, and this guy is asking what you want these herbs for. So I'm telling you, because of your role, you do know what this group of ingredients can create. So you
Right.
know, or you feel confident of what it is you're trying to create. I leave it up to you whether or not you're going to give that information to this person or say whatever else. I'm just saying that you can see Raiken is stumbling here, as he doesn't know actually what's going on with these ingredients. But you can jump in here if you wish to.
How long have I known this? Have I only just figured this out now?
I mean, it really only came up first, like, a day, 2 days ago, tops. And he being Vendar, has been not entirely forthcoming with stuff over the last 2 days, but this morning he showed you, and even now he's explained exactly what he's looking for. So it's, I would say, largely since this morning, that Jebble is, like, in the loop on this.
No, I'll just turn to Vendor. What are you getting these things for, anyway?
My brother is sick. For a long time, he's been being dosed by this potion. Juice, he calls it. I'm looking for these ingredients so that I can reproduce this juice and hopefully find a way to heal him.
Oh, like an antidote.
Yes.
Yeah, because I can see what these would do. Right.
What antidote? There you have it.
I see. So you're going to try and, heal the sick, and not mind control the Empress or anything of that nature.
Absolutely not.
He, like,
No.
blinks at you momentarily as you respond, Vendar, and then quickly turns to Jebble.
That would be just suicide.
I would never do anything like that to my sister or anyone.
Alright.
Hey, is your sister is the Empress now?
Yes.
All right, I forgot that.
Right? Or
Well,
what-
it's the Empress is still in power. Katarina Belgrin is still in power, but your sister has married into her family, and so now it is up to Katarina when she wants to either pass. You know that the next period of time, days, months, years, is going to be spent getting Garant and Lilith ready to take on all of her responsibilities and lead the country. But, like, so, yes, she is the heir to the throne now, but she is not yet the Empress.
Yeah, I'll refer to her whatever her official title would be now then.
I suppose Princess is fine.
Okay.
I've been using Empress, but because I was avoiding things like King and Queen, I was just trying to choose different words for the different rulers so they were a little flair and variety. But I guess beneath Empress could still be Princess.
Saz.
Yeah, I think that's...
So, Princess Lilith Drakner, Prince Garant Belgren. So yeah, he's being very upfront, saying this is not being used against the government here. This is not being used against the Empress, her family, or any of her courtiers.
No.
And again, every time you speak, you see he kind of blinks at you a moment and then quickly turns to one of the other two.
No, somebody made this stuff and used it on his brother, and he's trying to figure out how to come up with some sort of counteragent.
Okay. Well, excellent. Mr. Draknir,
Yes?
would you please excuse us? I have
Why?
to do business with your friends.
Why not me?
Don't worry, Vendar. We got this.
He's going to... He's looking at you flatly, sighing, and finally he, takes a step back from the counter, bends down, you hear some, shuffling stuff on one of the shelves beneath it, and he comes up with a roll of paper, and he looks at you over it, are you going to make me unroll this?
I'm going to turn to Vendar. And say, Vendar, how close do you have to be to Squeakers to hear him?
I'm not sure. He's usually on my shoulder.
Do you want to find out? You can leave him here with us while you're out there, and he'll keep an eye on things for you.
I'm really
Fine.
doing everything in my power to help you out here. Why are you making this difficult for me?
Fine. Right. I'll wait outside.
Do you know what he was holding?
Imagines what the don't do business with me thing.
You feel pretty confident that's what he was holding.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Draknir. You, find yourself back out on the street in front of the shop. There's, more people in line, and one of them steps forward to try and pull the door open as you step out. Do their turn.
Sorry, not quite done yet.
Where's Squeakers? Did you leave him with me?
Yeah, sure. I told him to stay with you.
Probably just, sitting on top of your staff. Way
Yeah.
above your head. Alright. He kind of bends over and places a scroll back under the counter. Says, now then, yes, I can provide you with one of the two plants you are asking for. It is much less highly controlled, and I do receive it from a contact I have in the Feywild. Now then, he quickly pulls out a ledger and, runs his finger down it, turning pages. Says, good. Yes, I've got a supply of it left. How much do you need?
Did Vendar take the scroll with him that has what we need?
Imagine I would have said how much we needed
Yeah.
previously.
So, you know how much he said you need for a dose.
Okay. Then Raiken will say it.
Okay. I will say to Jebble, do you want to get just one dose worth, or would you like to have more to experiment with?
More.
Okay. How much more do you think you want? Or will you base it on the price I tell you?
Hear the price first.
Okay. Very well. That much. I can sell to you for 20 gold pieces.
That's 1 dose.
According to Vendar's ingredients thing, yeah, that would be 1 dose.
I give him 3 platinum for 3 doses.
Be 6 platinum.
Yeah, it would be 6 platinum for 3
Oh, yeah.
doses. Okay, I thought you were trying to haggle with him. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
No, I got my maths wrong.
That's okay. All right, so yes, you
I
hand
multiplied 3 by 10.
right. All right.
Let's not make this any more difficult.
All right, so you hand him 6 platinum, and he makes a mark in the ledger, and heads back through the blue curtain behind him. You hear a squeak of a hinge and a jangle of your coins, and then another tack as probably a coffer closes over the coins. You hear him shuffle further in, and you hear some drawers opening and closing. And after a minute of that, he goes, here it is. And you hear him come back, pushes through the curtain, and he holds out he places on the counter between you 3 sprigs of this plant that has like curling green leaves off of it, and pods at the top. They were probably seed pods. And he's got them like tied up with a little piece of twine. Says, there you are, 3 doses for 60 gold pieces.
Thank you.
And as you are not Mr. Draknir, I am free to do business with you. If you have nothing further that you need, I wish you a magical day.
I would like to ask one more question.
Very well, sir. What can I help you with?
This other plant that you aren't able to give us, would you happen to know the best place to get it?
He's going to kind of bend forward and place an elbow on the counter and lean his chin onto his hand, partially obscuring his mouth behind his fingers. He goes, well, it's generally very difficult to procure. It, like the other, is not native plain. However, I am aware that one person in town has found a way to cultivate it. I have purchased some from them. But otherwise, I don't know where you could find such a thing. It's a very highly controlled substance and very dangerous, so I really can't recommend anything to you.
I see. Raiken will kind of look both directions, kind of both to the side here and there, and going to slip on the table across another platinum piece.
he will look at it. You'll see a little look of surprise cross his face, and he will lower his hand away from his chin and just very casually place it on top of the platinum piece. And he'll say, please do give my kindest regards to Vendar. Terribly sorry that going through this at the moment, but his family has ever been good patrons of our business here.
Will do.
Now then, if you would please, have yourselves a magical day.
Out of character, I have to laugh at that. Okay. Raiken will turn to Jebble. He'll be like, well, I guess we should head back out.
Yeah.
Did Jebble get the ingredients then?
One of you two has the 3 sprigs.
Raiken would have probably let Jebble grab them.
Okay.
Okay, I'll stick the here.
Better reach up onto the counter and grab them. Alright. You head back out, and given the wait time, in front of this place, you are going to see as you leave these your friends heading back up to the Brilliant Plaza, and this is a surprise because they were supposed to head up there well ahead of you while you went off to do this. You rejoin Vendar, and Vendar, you see this as well.
Wonder what took them so long.
Jebble has told you that he has the ingredients that you need, and you may do as you like. You see the rest of the group apparently heading to the Brilliant Plaza. What do you do?
Actually, I'm going to turn to not Vendar, the other one, Raiken, and I'm going to say, did he tell you who sold the other stuff to him?
No. And he took my platinum piece.
That was payment for telling you that it's in the city, wasn't it?
No, yeah, good job. And then I don't know if it happened, but I moved the staff closer to Vendar so that Squeakers can jump back to him.
Well,
Squeakers.
maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
Squeakers jumps from the top of the staff onto your hat, Vendar, and he goes, "I like that guy."
Yeah, Jebble's good.
What? No, I meant the guy in the building.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He likes
I'm glad
you.
you like it. That's good to know.
Yeah. Alright, sorry, Alex.
Raiken is going to turn to Vendar and be like, well, so we have the ingredients. We ended up getting 3. But we still don't quite know for sure how to get the other one, other than apparently someone in the city has found a way to grow them.
Well, that's good to know, or at least the city. I'll see if I can't track down somebody who might be able to sell me some. Can I use like a thieves' cant or whatever and to like search around for like fences and shit?
Yeah, you could try that.
I'll do that.
Okay. So, you're gonna commit some time to doing that. Did you want to deal with the party going by it all first, or did you want to jump right into doing that?
Jump right into doing that.
Okay. Are you gonna invite these two to go with you, or are you splitting off from them?
Alright, I'll tell them they can come with me if they want, or they can rejoin the parties. It's right there.
Raiken will join. If anything, at least, like, so that Vendar's not by himself, considering the last time that at least I remember that they look for thieves' camp, they end up getting double-crossed by guards.
So, Vendar's going to run off to begin investigating this lead you just found.
I'm going with him.
You're going with him. Okay. Very well. So you're just going to ignore the rest of the party as they go by, and you're gonna dive into this investigation.
They were supposed to get there before us anyways.
Okay. That's fine. Rest of the party, what is your passive perception?
A whopping 10.
10.
15.
Oh.
Because I'm an elf.
Yeah.
Not good, though. 15 is not a great passive perception.
I know people with 9.
That is true. Like, it could be worse. It could be
So-
Perception 17.
Cyrus? Cyrus' mic stopped working.
Mm-mm.
Cyrus needs better passive perception.
Alright, well, in any event, Lia, at the very least, as you are headed past the Mages Guild, you do happen to notice the other 3 of your party from whom you had separated earlier and were supposedly milling about in the lowest district, coming out of the Mages Guild. Do you inform the rest of the party or do something else?
Yeah, I informed them. Like,
Alright. You all become aware of Vendar, Raiken, and Jebble standing in front of the Mages Guild. They seem to be talking, and in the moment that you're all noticing them, they seem to finish whatever it is they're talking about and begin heading off. Back down toward the lower districts. Any of you wish to do anything?
Are they looking our way?
As you look, you do notice that, like, Vendar at least has passed a couple glances over at you and is not headed over. You see him point himself resolutely down the districts and begin to walk that way.
Oh.
Go ahead, Yukikaze.
I'll, screw it. I'm gonna, like, big old arm here, wave, see if I can catch anyone's attention.
Alright. Laramendus, what did you say you were gonna do?
Armin is going to walk over to them and basically just be like, I just wanted to touch base about the amount of time that things will happen, since we still have to do the sendings and whatnot later, and it seems like you're going in the opposite direction.
Okay, so you're going to
You
jog to
need to
catch up with them,
again.
because they are moving away almost as though they haven't noticed you, except that you have seen them look directly at you. So you're jogging to catch up with them. It's like, hey, I want to touch base.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vendar,
If we're moving at my speed, if
Yeah.
we're, like, I'm bringing down the speed, so he could probably catch up.
oh yeah, no, but I mean
relatively
the fact is that you're making him.
Oh yeah.
Vendar, you easily notice as Yuki starts to wave across at you, and I imagine that you are hellbent on getting this investigation underway and finding what you need. Is that correct?
Yeah, but if I see Lerman just coming over and
Oh,
Yukikaze waving,
You see him jogging after you.
then I'll sigh. And I'm like, guess what? We'll talk to them first.
Okay. So you see, you guys, you 3, you see them 3 stop as Lara approaches. Are you gonna go over to join that conversation, or just watch from over here? Those are your options.
Well, I'll mosey on over. I think it'd be reasonable.
Okay. Lia.
yeah, follow the rest.
Okay. Cyrus.
I see no reason to wander off myself this time.
Okay. Very well. Then these guys catch up with you. Lair, you can quickly repeat what you said to Vendar about touching base, about time.
So Lerman just catches his breath a little bit. And then, since you're all heading in the opposite direction of where I expected people to be heading, I wanted to find out about timings for us all meeting up again, since we do still need to do the sendings and whatnot. And also, Vendar, we should have a discussion about rituals in the night. We met a very large friend of yours.
Oh, yeah. Only one eye. The other one's like a weird glowing thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I met him last night. It was unexpected. You guys have ghosts too?
Not anymore.
Well, that's good. I still got a few, but I'll better do my best to get rid of them. Anyway, We got one of the ingredients we need for the potion, but the other one is around here, so I'm looking to try to find somebody who might sell it to me.
All right. Do you have any idea how long that might take?
Hopefully not too long, but probably at least a couple hours. I guess you could do the telepathic bond.
Sam was just pulling up my spell slots to see if I had level slots, which I do. Yes, I think that isn't a terrible idea. I cast a spell. I'm doing as a spell, not a ritual.
Okay, so it takes you 6 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's got the telepathic bond. You are not spending a sorcery point?
No, I am not, so it'll just be the hour.
1 hour. Alrighty. You are all telepathically connected. You can all bother each other in your brains now.
Excellent. I will telepath. Let us know if you're in need of any assistance.
Right, and I'll give you a better estimate of how long it will take, when it's closer to... and when the spell's close to ending.
Wonderful. Lariminus turns to go.
And Vendar will start leading the others away.
Okay. If nobody else says... Ooh, Malachi?
What time of day is it again?
It's getting around noon. It's getting close to noon. It's like 11, a little after 11.
Alright, so yeah, no stalls or anything are open.
Oh, the stalls were probably all open at about 6.
All it's open are probably like bars right now, aren't they?
I mean, there are going to be taverns that are available. There aren't blue laws. They'll let you drink any time of the day.
No, I was gonna, because with what Leah went through and
Gonna buy her a drink.
no, I was
You
going
learn to drink, little one. Going to?
I had a craving for something sweet now on or cheese, and I was gonna ask her if she wanted to go get a snack somewhere.
Yeah, you could absolutely do that. This isn't the wrong time for that at all.
So, and I'll ask Lariminus, anyone that didn't go with Vendar, if they also wanted to. So I'll be like, guys, since we're waiting on hear what's up with Vendar, do you guys want to go grab a quick snack somewhere, maybe something sweet to be something nice after everything that's happened?
I am not opposed. I do know that Cyrus wanted me to cast Commune for him. I don't know if he wants that done sooner rather than later, though.
Preferably, so I could set my mind at ease.
If that's a priority, sure. Unless, if you two just want to go do that, does anyone? Or wait, is that just me and Leah that's left then?
I mean, the spell itself should not take long, so you can get a head start, and we can come and meet up with you afterwards. We are connected telepathically, so we'll be able to find each other.
Well, it's just the 4 of us here right now, right?
Yes.
Did you want to do that, Leah?
Excuse me, what?
In the light of everything that happened, do you want to go get something sweet or a snack from one of the taverns while we wait to meet up with everyone?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay.
Man, Uncle Yuki!
I will telepath to you guys when if we find a nice place where it is.
Excellent.
Right. Oop. Yeah.
Now we split up more.
Yep. Now you split up more. You're off.
You're welcome.
Well, you guys are only going to be a minute, hopefully.
You're gonna be at least 10.
11.
No.
Alright. We will begin with Cyrus, as I know what he wants to do.
Yep. I'm not certain what I want to do with questions 2 and 3, but I would like to find out if Erza from the H Guild is still in the city.
All right.
Let me pull back up my answers from last week.
So, you two head back to the Boar Hunter Lodge. Servants there let you in, and you are able to go to either the bedroom you've been staying in, or the lounge.
I cannot pull up my Discord thing. Okay,
I
1 second.
was intending to go into the room that we'd been staying in. And I will inform people that I'm very shortly going to cast a spell that might involve a few loud noises, but there will be no harm to anything, any danger at all. It's just it can be a little loud for about a minute.
Yeah, they look mildly uncomfortable with the information, but they seem to accept your explanation.
And if anyone pushes him for more, he'll go into as much detail as anyone is willing to listen to. If anyone pushes for information,
The servants do not push you.
Okay.
No. You two. Hey there, Derek.
I think so.
Okay.
So you head up into the bedroom, surrounded by the beds and such. You see as you head up to the 3rd floor, the servants are moving about, upkeeping the place, delivering food to, obviously these aristocrats who want it. You do hear voices as you pass by the rooms on the 2nd floor. You hear a deep male voice. No words, obviously, as I've told you before, the walls and doors are thicker here, so just passing by, you are aware of noises, but no discernible details other than a deep male voice and a higher-pitched feminine voice coming from the room that you know belongs to Lady Kaylock, and the 2 male voices coming from down the hall a bit, especially the louder outbursts that seem to kind of shake the walls a little bit more than any other sounds around this place. The only really standout thing that happens are these infrequent outbursts from the room that you are aware is inhabited by Vendar's brother.
makes sense.
Make your way up there, he gives you his information, and you may cast your spell once you have all the questions. Cast a spell and ask them one at a time as he gives.
Easier to just wait for all the questions.
I am still trying to determine questions 2 and 3. You might want to go to somebody else for a second.
Okay. I will.
Larmandus will say to Cyrus, if you don't need other questions, we can see if anyone else has a question that they want asked.
I'll keep that in mind. I don't currently know if I need more than one or not.
That's entirely reasonable.
Alright. Then I guess I will momentarily draw the attention to... whoops, not Raiken. That's wrong. Get out of here, Raiken.
Raiken always has attention.
Yukikaze and Lia, as you meander around the upper district below the Brilliant Plaza, checking into these different taverns and places to see which one you'd like to sit at. Eventually you do find a nice little tavern that isn't too overly crowded, and it smells very good to both of you.
So it's pretty well kept and not super rowdy.
Right. Yeah. In the upper district, it's gonna be more expensive, so you're going to get quieter, richer clientele.
Okay.
So you head in, and you're able to order any food you'd like. This place is serving a variety of things, including a surprising variety of vegetable and fruit dishes without any meat, which is rather uncommon, as most people value meat in their meals.
Any cheeses also, though?
Oh, yes.
Cheese.
They have some fresh ones that they've produced themselves recently that you would be allowed to sample, if you like, as well as imported ones from other parts of the continent. They've got a type or two from Ebengard, harder cheeses, usually sharper. They've got one from Sudaran, and one from the Empire of the Four Queens.
So yeah, I would I'd get a small variety of a bunch of things. And...
Okay, so you get yourself a charcuterie.
Just like a sampler platter,
Yeah.
if that's something they do.
Charcutes. Very well. Lia, gonna try the cheeses and such, or is she gonna get herself a nice vegetable deal? Lia?
Yeah?
Food?
What?
Food.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm very sleepy, so I'm kind of in and out.
Yukikaze has requested a bunch of cheeses and breads and...
Well, mainly cheeses and if I had bread, I'd ask if there's like honey, and then just mainly cheese and fruit.
Cheese and fruit. Any meat?
Yeah.
No
Okay.
meats, just cheese and fruit.
Alright. And as I had said before, Lia, this place does seem to offer a surprising selection of meatless meals. Dishes that are entirely vegetables or fruits and the like.
Yeah, she'll have a few. She'll find something similar to what Yukikaze suggested.
Okay. Very well. Then you are brought your platters of cheeses and fruits, as well as fruit-based beverages, and you share this meal at a table cozily in a corner of this place, as there are 3 or 4 other tables inhabited by people enjoying meals around this lunchtime. It's mostly quiet in here, and the place is very upscale, with servers and everything coming to check, ask if you need anything further. But otherwise, it's pretty much just the two of you, seated and eating.
Nice. She's being very quiet.
Was there anything in particular you wanted to say, Yuki, or are you going to maintain the silence?
Nothing in particular. Just gonna snack on some stuff and just relax. If Leah looks like she wants to say anything, I'll encourage it. But other than that, I'll just and I'll get over to the teleback. I found a pretty nice place over here, and I'll say the location and the name when you guys are done.
All right.
Excellent. We will be there when we are. I will let you know when we are heading out.
Well, I guess I could say, Leah, we could just, chill, not say anything if you like. Just gonna snack on some tasty things.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry. It's been a lot.
I understand. So then, nothing else is said. Just continue snacking.
Who do you think they found peace?
Sorry, what did you say again out of character?
Do you think they found peace? The spirits.
Being tied to you and being upset all the time would not be good for the spirits. Actually, crossing over, I feel that they would be able to find peace a lot more than being tethered to the physical world. I just to answer you, yes, I do believe they will have found some peace, if not peace, completely.
I'm glad. It's awful, but at least I don't have to stick around.
All we can do is just hope for the best for them.
Yeah. Just like touching the food, not more so than eating it.
Okay. You enjoy a very good meal full of sweet fruits, and sharp as well as mild cheese. Kind of enjoy the quiet and aware that both there for one silent and ask the questions you want. Answers are appropriate. Sound accurate, Yuki?
Mm-hmm. And I'll be nibbling on some cheeses and sampling its flavor, and then experimenting by pairing it with a fruit and eating it together. He'll look like he's having a little fun doing that.
Okay. Cyrus, have you figured out your other two questions?
I am working on it with Sam via text at the moment.
Okay. Then I will jump to Vendar and the others.
Yeah.
Okay. Vendar. There. Oh. The trio, the squad.
Yeah, squad.
Yeah.
Area. Why is in such a weird place on that list? Okay, squad. Alright, so, Vendar, you are going to utilize Thieves' Cant to move about the city, talking to those you feel can help, and looking for signs to point you in the direction of this person who is growing the illicit drug.
Yep.
Okay. An investigation check. Using charisma instead of wisdom.
So, but what do I do? What do I add? Just the int
You say
bonus
rather
or
than
charisma
using
bonus?
the wisdom bonus, you use your charisma bonus.
Okay. That's a 12.
Okay.
I roll better.
So, you begin going around, listening for people utilizing Thieves' Cant, looking for markings and signs of indication for safe houses and supply areas that only people who know Thieves' Cant will recognize. And it's tough going for a while. It's a big city. It's a very big city. And even as you get like deeper into the lower areas, which are closer to the docks, closer to the door, where more people travel, and it's easier for this kind of seedy underbelly to exist, you're really having trouble spotting anything, hearing anybody using it. And you're at this for about an hour. I just, walk here, stop for a minute and listen, check over here, look behind, this down this alley. You're looking in all the usual spots, and it just seems to be eluding you for about an hour. And after an hour has passed, Jebble, you're going to hear these small voices from behind you, as it sounds like a small group of people is like, where is he? Looking so long. Oh, and finally you hear, oh, there he is. Go, over there, over there. You're like, what? Where? I can't see him. It sounds like maybe, somewhere between 6 and 15 people. But you notice that your two compatriots don't notice these noises.
I'm going to turn and look.
You see a small pack of rats and mice, flowing over the cobbles and flags of the city street here, where you are. And, people, like, walking, like, stopping and, like, holding away any food, like, covering any, like, pressing down any clothing, like, worried that these things might try to crawl up a pant leg or up a skirt. Just, like, seeing a pack of rats, you just see a lot of people just, like, shocked and, like, trying to distance themselves from this. Like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And they make a beeline for you.
I'm going to step towards them.
Yep. and you recognize one of the two rats you had sent out earlier. Goes, all right, hey, buddy, I found you.
You're at?
So, I said I was gonna check in with some friends, right, about that thing you're looking for, because,
Yeah.
you know, I haven't... The description, it was good, but, like, I haven't, seen anything like it. But, you know, I had told you I had some friends, they get into some stuff, they go to places, you know, maybe they'd seen it, and lo and behold, he kind of, like, gestures, like, just, like, whipping his tail and waving his little front paws, before running them down his snout and over his whiskers again, in a very rat-like cleaning gesture. These guys say they think they might know. There's a place that they hang out, and we'll go on and tell them. And you get told in the mixed voices of these 15 rats and mice as they, like, talk over each other and you know, complete each other's sentences, but the gist you get is that there is a house in the lowest district, like right at the corner, like as far away from the gate and the entrance to the dock as it can be while still being in the lowest district, this little back corner, and they like it there because there's always, like, food leftovers that they can dig through, and they know that the place is well trafficked. That's where the food comes from, as humanoids come and mess with plants. And they've talked about, they recognize the description of the plants because all of these mice have tried to eat the plants at one time or another and got shooed away. Some got, you know, killed over it. But eventually they were able to spread word that, like, these things aren't good for eating anyway. They suck. They don't taste good. And they make the rats sick anyway. But now they're all aware of it, and they're not trying to get it anymore, so they're just benefiting from the food. That's the gist you get.
They've given me directions to this place?
They haven't given you they've told you, like, a general location of it, but they're mostly just, like, talking about the food. Like, they're clearly very focused on that.
Yes.
So you can focus them and direct them to do something. Like,
how many are there?
about 15.
Okay. So I'll say, listen. Can you direct us to this? Show us the way to this house?
And they all kind of, like, spend a moment, like, looking at each other in silence. And finally, like, the rat that you'd sent out to get them kind of, like, goes out and nudges a few of them. And they, like, confer for a moment. He goes, yeah, we can take you there.
Excellent.
So, Raiken, Vendar, this group of rats just came up to, Jebble and started squeaking and chittering at him while other people in these streets and alleys are just, like, looking on disgusted and moving away, and you hear him, you know, saying, "Can you take me there? Good. Thank you." kind of stuff.
Jebble, what are they saying?
They're telling
Find
me about maybe. They're telling me about a house that might have something we're looking for. They're saying what are the plants they used to make them sick, so sounds promising.
And they can lead us there?
That's the plan.
Awesome. Let's go.
Alright. You begin following the rats, and you're continuing to look around, Vendar, as you're following this group of rats. And again, it's a literal little pack of rats and mice preceding you down the streets, and you're getting a lot of weird looks while this is going on. Just anybody who happens to pass by and see the pack of rats, are, like, at first disgusted by the rats, like, trying to distance themselves from it, and then they see you guys very clearly following it, and they just look baffled. Like, what the hell is going on here? But more important to you, Vendar, is that you finally start to begin to notice markings in Thieves' Cant. You see markings indicating shelters. You see markings indicating caches. You see markings indicating fences.
Here it is. Took me a bit. Found it.
And eventually, as these rats are leading you deeper and deeper in, down, narrower and worse-kept streets, you spot the marking for an apothecary.
Here we go.
And they lead you right to the house that bears the mark. And for you, Jebble, the rats get there, and then immediately the whole pack, breaks up and scatters around the house, just disappearing into little nooks and crannies here and there. You start hearing cheers of, yes, food! And the rat that you initially talked to turns and says, all right, well, here we are. I'm gonna go see if there's any food. Just holler if you need anything else.
Hold on. I'm taking out 2 things of rations.
Okay.
I'm saying, here, share this with share this with all of them.
Whoa, you're giving me fresh food?
Well, it'll keep for a while anyway.
All right. Great. Thanks, buddy. Cool to work with you.
No, seriously, share.
Yeah, I totally got it. Yeah, I'll share. No problem. Wink.
No wink.
Wink? And you see the other rats, slowly reappearing as you're having this argument with him. And the cry of food goes up, and they all kind of just start fighting over it. You see the rations get opened and torn apart, and rats are coming in and taking bits and running off with them. They got shared.
One way or the other, they got shared.
Yeah.
A job well done.
Wink. So, you have this house. This apothecary.
And I turn to Vendar. I think we're here.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing it at first, but your rats led us this way, and I started seeing it all. It's an apothecary here. And should have what we need then, so get this done.
Alright, let's head inside.
Okay. There is an entrance here. The place is a bit of a shambles, and there is a lot of debris, garbage, rotting food, perhaps sewage about. It's not a pleasant place to be, and it is tucked back in a corner, on this back alley street, tucked right up against the outer wall of the city in the lowest tier. It gets, there's this one shaft of light coming down from the noontime sun between a few other buildings. Seems to be hitting an upper portion of this small building, illuminating a circle up on the roof, and almost light from the heavens indicating you found this place. There is a door that looks to be on its hinges, though those hinges appear to be rotting. You knock?
Yeah, I'll give it a thieves can't knock.
A thieves can't knock, so you knock in a pattern that is unnatural. Not like knocking on someone's door to be let in, not like anything you guys recognize. And there is a pause, there is silence for a moment, and then you hear a latch removed on the door, and it opens a crack enough for you to see a single light blue eye set in dark skin. And you hear a feminine voice. In Thieves' Cant, what can I get you?
I'll give
Money,
the...
right?
Yes, yeah, I can afford what I need. I'm looking for a... I'll describe the...
You describe the plant to her, one not from the Feywild. And you see the eyebrow over this eye working in the crack of the door. And it narrows momentarily, and she says, "Who told you that I have that?"
A little rat told me.
Well, at least the rats can be good for business. You look like an aristocrat.
I am.
What brings you down here? To me?
I need to procure this. And it's highly controlled, as I understand. So,
Yes, I control all of it in the city, to the best of my knowledge. Well, she seems to pass a glance over you and the others, and then a quick one around you, and you see the eye disappear from the door, and the door opens a little bit wider, as I permit you to enter.
thank you. I'll wave the others in.
Do you both go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You pass into this building. It is very dark inside, and it smells very bad. But it is dimly illuminated by a shaft of light that seems to be passing in through the ceiling toward the back of the room. It appears to be pretty much a single room. And this is reflecting off of the walls and the piles of garbage and giving a dim illumination to the whole place. You see that you are standing in the presence of a dark-skinned elven woman with blue eyes. Her clothing is poor. Coarse, rough-spun dress with a rope belt. And she indicates for you to stay in the doorway as she looks over you. Says, "Usually people of your station can't find me. I find it interesting that you're here, but I'm not gonna ask any other questions besides this one. How much do you need?"
How much do you have? I would like at least. I'll give the how
The
much I need
dosage.
for at least 3 dosages.
3 doses. That is quite a lot. I do have that much. It will cut severely into my stock and take time to regrow. I will sell it to you, however. But it will cost you.
What you looking for?
For that much, the time it takes to grow it. The fact that, as far as I know, I believe as far as you know, I'm the only one who can produce it. I will have to ask you for 200.
Gold?
She nods.
That's 20 plat, right?
Yeah, that's 20 plat.
Alright, this is worth it. I'll give her 20 plat.
You, take out your purse, count out 20 platinum, and, you hand it over. And she takes it and counts it again. And you see that she's eyeing your purse. Is there anything else that you might need that I can get for you? Seem to have more to spend.
You know, if you know, where I can get some purple worm poison, that would always be. I bet that that's again, it's probably a little bit outside here.
The method for refining it eludes me. I don't mix, she says as she kind of like makes order and pestle pantomime in front of her. I grow, and she like indicates the shaft of light at the back, and you notice that it is shining down upon a patch of floor and cracked wall, and the floor itself seems to have been torn up, exposing dirt, only it's not dirt that you recognize. It's not, brown and spongy looking and full of tritus, bits and chips of other plant matter and things. It is this orangey red color, and there's like this yellow loam growing over a part of it, and it looks almost sandy as opposed to spongy. And out of this strange red-orange sand, you see these flowers with vibrant purple bulbs growing and reaching toward this light source. But she says, you have connections and the ability to procure such a thing. I might have something that can help you. You'll have to tell me what you think it's worth. Would you like to see it?
Sure.
And she's going to, take a few steps to the side and just start digging in a pile of rubbish. This whole place is just an absolute mess. As I said, it smells horrible, and as she digs through the pile, lifting and moving objects, the smell gets worse. And finally she comes up, her hand comes out of the pile. You can see that the rough spun dress's sleeve is stained with fresh, dark sludge. And as she lifts her hand, you can see that there is purple rivulets running down the fingers and over the back. And in the center is something that looks almost about the size of maybe a human heart, and of the approximate shape. Can roll nature, Vendar, with advantage.
Oh, nat 20.
Okay.
Nature, sir. That's a 21.
21. Okay. You are surprised, first of all, but this appears to be either a portion of or a very underdeveloped, complete venom sac from a purple worm.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
You've handled enough of them that you recognize it fairly quickly, but your best guess is that it was taken from a juvenile.
Does that mean the venom won't be as potent?
it will definitely mean it won't produce as much.
It won't produce as much. Alright.
But you're confident that with your refining techniques, it should be the same potency.
Okay. Ooh, this is a good find.
And she's, like, holding it up for you to see, and as you say, ooh, it's a good find, she kind of, like, draws it a little bit closer to herself. Says, and what's its value?
Can I roll persuasion?
Okay. Going to try and sweet talk her into...
It's,
and to convince her that it's worth less.
Yeah, so I rolled 27, I'll offer 5 platinum. And I want to get her to accept that.
She considers your offer. She looks at this heart-like object that is dribbling over her hand. And, goes, well, I certainly don't know how to refine it, and I'm not sure what anyone else is going to give me, and your money's right there. Very well. I will take your 5 plat.
Thank you. Appreciate doing business.
She takes the 5 coins, hands you the heart-like object, and it begins dribbling over your hands.
They become all purple.
I will take out an empty sack and put it in there.
You know this is a good find, because while it is not the freshest thing you've ever seen, it is still surprisingly fresh. You have definitely come upon it before it has lost its ability to be worked with.
It's good. I'll have to work on that as soon as we get back to the lodge.
After that, she heads over to the light, and placing herself strategically between you and the plants, begins to work at them. After several minutes of this, of not being sure exactly what she's doing or how she's taking these plants out, or if she's doing anything special to them in between, she comes back with several of the flowers, these vibrant purple bulbs with long curling petals, and the stems of them are this ruddy red with thorns that extend into inch-long needles. And she lays them gently across your palm so as not to stick you with any of the needles. Says, that should keep you high for a while, but when you run out, come back here. I'll always know where to find Zoe.
Well, thank you for your business. And we'll go.
Okay. You have your prize. The rats have their food. You have your bonus prize.
Yeah, that's a good bonus prize.
Oh my gosh.
Never have enough purple worm poison.
And, you guys can start heading back up to the Brilliant Plaza. Got your questions, Derek?
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what the other two are if the first one is no.
Yes, but they are less important.
We better
Maybe
hope
we
it's
should also
yes.
know what they are.
Well, have one of them be the one about Rowan I suggested, and I guess have the other one be the one you suggested a little bit later.
Okay. So what's the exact phrasing for the one about Rowan that you want?
I mean, do you see anything? Like, what would you edit of the phrasing I have of what I sent?
I think saying reasonably capable in a commune is probably not clear.
Okay. How?
Uh,
Like, what?
Like would define reasonable.
Fair point.
Like because like sure we could you could say reasonable is all of us survive, but it uses up any resources that we have. That could be reasonable.
Sure. Let's go with that then.
What? Go with what?
Was that not a suggestion, or I'm not confused?
No, I'm just saying like what that was not a particular specific.
Like
suggestion.
without
that was just
without anyone else having to stay in hell, I guess.
Okay, so
Or without anyone having to stay dead.
Your question there is our group capable of returning Rowan to the material plane from hell within the week without any casualties or anyone remaining on a different plane of existence?
I think that works.
Are we specifying without calling in favors or being placed in debt?
I'm going to go with no.
Okay.
Well, perhaps without being placed in debt, because don't really want to be in debt to anything over there.
Okay. So is our group capable of returning Rowan from hell to the material plane within 1 week without anyone being placed in debt, dying,
Well,
without
staying
being
dead.
dying without being resurrected by the end of the week, or remaining on another on a plane of existence other than the material plane beyond the week. Is our group capable of returning Rowan from hell to the material plane within 1 week without anyone being placed in debt, dying without being resurrected by the end of any of our group, including Rowan? Our group, including Rowan. Is our group capable of returning Rowan from hell to the material plane within 1 week without any of our group, including Rowan, being placed in debt, dying without being resurrected by the end of the week, or remaining on a plane of existence other than the material plane beyond the week?
Yeah, alright. I think we have our backup questions
Okay.
solidified then.
I'm gonna guess that one is gonna be unclear.
Probably, but
Okay, so now I'm going to copy things over into the other chat. Do you want the question, the third one being the purposefully neglecting to inform the Archmage, or do you want it to be did she inform anyone?
let's go with did she inform anyone?
Okay.
Because that kind of shows an intent to leave.
Okay, we have the questions. Question 1. Is Erza from the Mages Guild in Everwatch being pursued by people who intend her physical or mental harm?
The room rattles and rumbles a little, and Ash turns to you and then shakes a little. Says, "No."
Don't lay down. Don't lay down. Right here.
Okay. Is our group capable of returning Rowan from hell to the material plane within 1 week without any of our group, including Rowan, being placed in debt, dying without being resurrected by the end of the week, or remaining on a plane of existence other than the material plane beyond the week?
There is a very short rumble, and again, Ash shakes and says, "No."
Should the 5 children of Tiamat be slain in close enough proximity, both spatial and temporal, to affect her, will she appear at the location of her children's death within 1 day?
Unclear.
Okay.
Well, at least I can stop pursuing this now, because it's very likely that I have just gone on a wild goose chase for a while, which, oh well. Someone disappeared. Seemed like it was worth looking into.
Yeah, I mean, mysterious experiences are not always good things.
Generally not, but you had very little information about this one. You had no idea what it is. You still have no idea what it is.
I am just now much more certain that it's at least non-deadly.
I mean, you did ask that question, and the angel, whatever spirit it was, speaking to the cleric, said she's capable of her own defense.
Which is not particularly helpful to me, at least, because it's like, okay, they can cast spells. Like, if you're capable of your own defense, it doesn't mean you can't necessarily be overwhelmed either.
You may choose to interpret these things as you see fit. Okay, and with those answers, no, and unclear, super awesome answers,
Well, that was ideal for the first one.
we'll call it there.
Haha.
It's about noon, say, with all this stuff going on. Somewhere between 11:30 and noon. Sound fair?
Sounds good.
Yep, makes sense.
It's been a pretty productive day. Alright, so, each of you, Elisa,
Yes.
take 1,300 experience points, please.
Hey.
Up. Alright.
And we'll see you all next week.
Alright. I am going to go try and get this, whatever is irritating my mouth, out of my mouth.
Bye, stream.
Goodbye.
Bye.